Good afternoon, Ward 7.
Good afternoon. Yay.
My name is Valario Johnson, and I'm running as a Democrat for Ward 7 City Council. The reason why I'm running for Ward 7 is because I believe that people need to be touched and they need access to opportunities that's going to improve the quality of their life. Our campaign, Building Bridges and Connecting People, speaks to exactly what we plan to do, not as the council person, but as the campaign and the candidate as we move to win the Ward 7 council seat. We want to bridge the gap around communication, participation, education, age, economics, gender, race, belief, and perspective. We value people over politics. We value progress with process. We value productivity over preference. We value substance over style, and we value service over self. We have a vision. We have a vision for Ward 7 that entails structuring the leadership so it can actively engage all people in the political process and service delivery in their communities. We want our Ward 7 residents, as well as our district residents, to have access so they can get the things that meet their needs. Our mission is to create an environment which allows all residents to emerge as leaders and participants while working to build bridges and connect people to the resources and the opportunities necessary to develop themselves and their community. We got 3 objectives. Personally engage all residents in all opportunities that will support and actively involve them in the decision-making processes that govern their well-being by creating steering committees, task forces, civic and citizens advisory groups. We want to create and implement comprehensive communication strategies that will keep all residents aware and informed about proposed changes to their neighborhoods. Last, we want to create opportunities that strengthen the capacity of churches, ANCs, civic and citizens, and we want to enable them to become more part of the decision and legislative process. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we want to speak to holding other leaders accountable. We want transparency, we want inclusion, and we want accountability. We're leading off with 5 key areas for our platform. The first is constituent services. We believe that we can do a better job touching people and meeting their needs, of course with their health. Second, education reform. We believe in change and we believe that reform is necessary, but we believe that education should be solely driven by student achievement and not the No Child Left Behind process. We believe that parents should be actively engaged. We believe that communities should be actively engaged in helping the transformation of schools. Quality economic development. We want Ward 7 residents to feel the $1.5 billion worth of economic development opportunity coming to Ward 7 over the next 5 or so years. Youth development. We're for young people, and we're for pushing resources to ensure that they are actively engaged in their neighborhoods and that they get the things that they need to survive and to be productive citizens of the District of Columbia as well as the world. In the end, quality of life. Police. We want to make sure that we have our equitable share of police officers here in Ward 7. We also want to make sure that funding goes to anti-littering campaigns. We believe that we should do a better job of cleaning our streets. And the last point, we want to re-engage the fight for a hospital, first full-service hospital here in Ward 7, and we want to also encourage private practices for doctors and dentists to house their headquarters and offices here in Ward 7 to help build a healthcare capacity for residents here in Ward 7. And we also encourage, and are for universal and comprehensive health care coverage.
So how do you plan to bring all this about in Ward 7 in terms of connecting people and bringing people together? You know, what do you think is missing right now in the present city council person in terms of what's not being done?
What I think is missing currently is a compassion and a focus on meeting the needs of people. I believe from being in the community for about 5 years now, at the grassroots level, touching people, working with young people, that it takes passion, it takes commitment, and it takes a focus that this is what you want to do. I think enough is not being done in that area. I think the council person's role is an advocate, an extension of the people in the communities. The council member is supposed to focus on people and ensure that people get what they need and help them to get what they need.
There's a lot of development happening in this ward now, and we want to make sure that residents of this ward get some of those funds that's coming from these developers. But at the same time, we don't want our residents to be displaced by this development. You understand, a lot of the schools and a lot of the cultural centers that we have may be shut down. So what are your plans to ensure that people are not displaced, but at the same time we have the developers accountable for economic growth of this community?
To fix that problem, you really teach people about what community development is supposed to be. Community development is when you massage the opportunities presented by private interests and developers to tweak it to meet a social needs for people. Currently, we have certain situations in place where an opportunity to create jobs through development. Let's say this place here. If this place was to be changed, we would want to ensure that people who live in this community have first right to all the jobs and all the benefits of the change. We strongly believe that those residents who've been here through the bad times should be the first to receive the benefits of the good times. In the end, our motto, Building Bridges, Connecting Peoples, speaks to the need to leverage people's knowledge of their situation and opportunities forthcoming, financial and otherwise, to meet the current situation and the current needs of the people in the community that live, work, play, pay taxes in the District of Columbia and Ward 7.